Ah, there we go. All right. Hey, up. Oh, whoop, whoop. Hey, hey, everyone. Good night. Welcome to the Monday art stream. I hope you guys are having a good night or a good morning. But let's get started, shall we? Let's go. Okay. No, this is... Okay, this is what I was trying to capture. Okay. Color source. It's capturing something else. I think this could be bigger. I don't need to worry so much about chat. You know, I could just... Come on. Come on. I really could loot. Let's just keep it down there. I was more worried about the, but I can just, yeah, there we go. Sorry. I don't think this is a window that I normally use. So, okay. Okay. Yeah, all right. Let's see here. What am I planning for tonight? Let's see. I'm gonna play some music. Let me just make sure. Does new music get played? Let's see. It's bars. You say they're copy the claim. Okay, no, 1 second. No, I don't think this is copyrighted, but in case we can just mute. Hey Tony. Hey Maloney. I'm just gonna play your music. Or let's play Nintendo 64 music. So I'm gonna go to YouTube. And 64 music. Okay. All right, lower that. Let me get my glove on. Open YouTube and set the stream so I can see the comments. Okay. Okay. Now I have the comments. I have music, but you guys can't hear it probably, so I'm gonna... Okay, there we go. I'm gonna lower this, just so I'm not competing with the soundtrack. It's audio mixer. There we go. All right. So tonight, I'm just gonna draw it right away. What I had in mind was draw Daiwa Scarlet from Uma Musume. So I was thinking like maybe she's, you know, doing stretches like that. Something like that. But what I was trying to think is that she's stacked, so it's harder for her to reach. So that's one option. The other option was something more perspective-like this, and you just get let's draw the body. And you have this. Here it's either a front angle or maybe something more sideways. So you actually get to see the full thighs and the boob squish and this. Or maybe from behind. So you see her legs like that. And then you just get the back boob. And then you get like the butt and then the tail. So, or another idea I had that I could draw was I think I mentioned this a while ago, but it was like last week. But it was like myself, but in I think one of the Niers outfit. Maybe like that. Obviously more well defined, but sitting on a rock. Or whatever. That's an idea. Hey, you go there. Okay, I can't show this. Okay. Give me 1 second. Let's save. And draw yourself in the background in the Nier outfit as a poster. I could just do hold on, let me today is 2022 05016 no 16. So I'm gonna save that. And let's bring back the window. Okay. I think I just need to think about the posts. So let me I like making these small because it's easier to work with, and then blow it up once the sketch is done. So let's pick a few. So we got this one. I'm gonna kind of So, we got 1, 2, 3, 4. This one, if you can't really tell, I think you can tell what's going on. It's, again, I'm going to define a little bit. I'm just going to go ahead and like, so she's stretching her arms like that. And then what you see here is just the back boob from whatever, and then her shorts, the tail. I think this is a little bit more defined now. This one's more of a side view. Obviously this one's a little more, I wouldn't say more complex, but it's harder. And this one's just like a front view. And this one's like, instead of the legs stretched out, they're wide open. Like that. So, there are some ideas here. This one, I would, just to fuck with people, I would just draw the feet. But then the other ones, it would be shoes. They're all, like, they're fun, I think, all of them. Nah, I would draw the shoe. I would draw the bottom of the shoe. I'm kidding. Not really a foot person. If you are, I mean, like, I guess that's fine. No, she doesn't. They don't. And I think this one's been done before, but I was thinking like a running pose, but it's already been done a million times, so I'm probably not gonna do that. Anyways, which one do you guys think? Her shoes, their shoes have like a hoof. If I remember correctly. Three or four. So 3 or 4. I guess I'll just leave it as 1, 1. Let's see here. Give me 1 second. 4, 4, 4. Okay. Okay, so we got 3. All right. All right. I guess we'll go with 4 then. Let's see. Let's do that. Go ahead and start cleaning up the anatomy then. So let's actually clean up the sketch. So, what we're gonna do here is are you in? No, I'm not. Well, I mean, I don't know. Well, like, I'll play it by ear. I'll keep going. And then see how I... Okay. By the way, I started a programming course yesterday, and I finished the first syllabus, which was just basically like programming 101. It's not terribly long, but it's from Code Academy or whatever. It's pretty fun. Well, I mean, I wouldn't say like fun, but it's pretty nice the way they present information, and I've been liking it so far. Now I'm like where I have to pick a programming language, and I'm going with JavaScript for the moment just to start, and then I'm going to move on to C++, C#, and then do a full stack course and see how that moves along. But I mean, coding is, it seems, I'm a little like, because there's a bunch of information that they throw your way, and it's just like, just to get you like started. So it's a bit confusing, but I'm starting to get I get the major concepts. They're not impossible. It's just a lot, especially when we're talking of like a different method of doing things, or like you have to start thinking a little more critically or differently about how you're doing things. So, yeah, but I mean, so far, good shit. I need to see how like, I'm gonna try and do a little bit of programming every day, the same way that I do art. Even if I can't do a whole lot, I do a little bit every day. And see how things move on. Because I'm definitely interested in acquiring that skill. That'd have to be something. Yes. Also, I keep seeing a lot of mixed reviews for Doctor Strange. I heard I keep hearing it's good visually, but it's also a massive disappointment because a lot of people were expecting like Sam Raimi movie, but it seems like it's been meddled with at an executive Disney level, and I'm like, of course, like Sam Raimi movies can't happen in Disney's Marvel. That would be too creative and too good. Like, if they let him at least do like certain things interesting, then I'm just interested in watching to see like what he did. But it's not like I have like the highest of hopes for like a Marvel movie. It's been dead in the water since Infinity War, or like Endgame. Like, it's once that was over, it's just like, what else are they gonna do? Like, it's nothing's fun anymore. Okay. Start. No. Alright, let's clean this up. It's messing me up a little bit. There we go. Legs go here. What's it? My favorite superhero movie? Spider-Man. Spider-Man 2 is the better movie, for sure, but I like Spider-Man 1 a lot more. I think Spider-Man 1, yeah, Spider-Man 1, the Sam Raimi one. That one's my favorite one. I think it's just like the perfect comic book movie in terms of the way, the delivery of things. It feels like a superhero movie, and it feels like an action movie, or like a comic book movie. It respected the source, and it's also very fun and also like visually creative, and it has that flair of, it's just good. I mean, I don't know what else I can say about it. I like a lot of the liberties taken with the movie, and it's also what was a time where like movie studios just didn't know what to do with superhero movies, so they're just like, I mean, just do whatever the fuck you want. And Sam Raimi was like, all right, I like Spider-Man, so I'll see what I can do with this guy. And he did an amazing job, and I think that's kind of one of the reasons why people still want him to do another Spider-Man movie, and not the guy that did The Amazing Spider-Man or these new ones like Away From Home. Jason Watt, I think is his name. Like nobody's like with the exception of James Gunn, nobody is like going around and saying like, we need this director back for like more Marvel movies. There's only been like a handful of like people. James Gunn, Sam Raimi, people are like, oh, he needs to like come back and do more Spider-Man. For the other directors, nobody like cares. At least nobody. Oh well, you know what? Taika Waititi did like Thor Ragnarok, which is one of the better Marvel directors. He did Thor Ragnarok, and it's really good. It's one of the better Marvel movies. At least it's different. It's fun. It doesn't take itself too seriously, but it respects the source material too. So I think I like. It's also like wacky and over the top in a lot of parts. So I feel like it did a good job. Imagine if Midnight Shyamalan did a Marvel movie. He did. It's called Glass, and it sucked. Well, it's not a Marvel movie. I say it's a Marvel movie, but it's not. It's basically just a superhero movie, but it's not very good. It's its own like universe that he made up. The trilogy one, yeah. Glass was a follow-up to the other three movies it did, yes. And they were terrible. Well, no, I think the one with Bruce Willis was okay. I'm not like the biggest M. Night Shyamalan fan, or Shyamalan, like however you pronounce his name. I think he was a fine director when he did like those movies that made him famous, but I never saw like quite, because maybe it was like after, like I didn't grow up when he released those movies, or like I wasn't old enough to just like appreciate. I think he was just one of those things where he did like a few hits and then that was it. Unbreakable. Yes, it was Unbreakable. That's like one of the last times Bruce Willis cared about acting. Or at least he was conscious enough to, because now he retired from acting because he's he's got like some sort of like brain disease or something. Like he can't process things properly or something like that. I think my thing about I don't know. I don't like. I'm not that huge of a M. Night Shyamalan fan. I think he's just okay. Even the movies that he did that were like, people are like, oh, what's he gonna make next or whatever. I'm like, yeah, I mean, they're nice. They're pretty good, but it's not like I would lose my shit over it. Especially considering he has more bad movies than good ones. And the whole Shyamalan twist was like, once you do 2 movies with that twist, it's like maybe subverting expectations. Not subverting expectations would be the subversion of expectations. Just do whatever the fuck you want, because people are always waiting for that twist. And it's like a coined term too, where people are just like, yeah, I don't know. Because like a lot of the twists that he pulls are kind of hit or miss. So I think this is looking okay. I think it still needs a little bit of correction. So I'm gonna bring the 3D model out and just... Let's bring out a 3D model. Let's throw this one in. Need you to lean forward. Spread your legs. Like that. Okay. There we go. Okay. This is to... Okay. Forgot, did you make your own model? Do you mean the Live 2D one? Because if that's what you're asking, I did, yes. Okay, there we go, I knew it. Over a process of a few weeks, trying to like get it to be perfect, I did. And I rigged it and everything. It's not as hard as people think it is. It's just work. You gotta take time out to actually do it. Do it. Do it. Okay, let me see. Let me just confirm. Okay, what I'm mostly concerned about, it's more of the torso. Because again, like this seems fine. There we go. Yeah, I knew it. I knew it. Okay, there we go. Ah, thank you. So, alright. Alright, yeah, this is what I was concerned with. I should do a Banjo-Kazooie stream. Also, I've been talking about the feedback stream, and instead of doing it tomorrow, because I said on Saturday that I would do it on Tuesday, like tomorrow, I'm gonna do it on Wednesday, and instead do an additional stream on Thursday, so I can move Wednesday stream to Thursday. That way, I'm not like streaming this early so much, because I think my thing is that I don't like streaming so often early in the week. It's just for some reason I think it's okay. So here's the thing. I'm gonna go ahead and usually I have a lot of work starting the week, but after Wednesday it's not so bad. Because I've finished like setting up whatever it is that I'm going to do for the rest of the week. Or like I do the initial sketches and stuff, and I also like do a lot of like getting ready to do something, or I have to consider something. Okay. Yeah, I'm only drawing over these just so I have like a better... Okay. There we go. Honestly, like another thing that why I don't stream as often is just I have so many things I need to take care of, and other like a lot of interruptions, so it just gets harder for me. I would love to stream more, but it's just like sometimes it's just harder when you got all these things going on, and you got a lot of people to look after and like. You know, pay attention. Rose-Kazooie, Banjo-Rozooie. Banjo-Rozooie sounds better. But Banjo-Tooie is the one that I actually played when I was growing up. I don't know much. I didn't play Banjo-Kazooie much, because in the video store that we used to go rent it, they didn't have it, and then when we were getting games, the game that we got was Banjo-Tooie. That's the one that we got. Like, we bought with our allowance. So we had that game. And I like Banjo-Tooie a lot better. But that's also the nostalgia. Before Smash Brothers? Really? Really? It's like one of the most popular things. People love that game. Everyone swears about the first one, but again, I didn't play the first one growing up. Played it much, much later. And I didn't like it quite as much as Tooie because I found that it didn't have like all like the different mechanics and stuff like that that Tooie offered. But they're pretty good games. Like if you've never played them before, they hold up still. They've been stylized enough that it's not, they still hold up. The major complaint people had of those games, though, is that they were very much on the huge and empty side and collectathons. But I don't think collectathons are bad necessarily. Mario's a collectathon, and nobody complains about Mario being a collectathon. So I think it's all about perspective. But yeah, those games are great. If you have like the extra, the expansion pass for the Nintendo Switch, the online, it's there. Recommend playing it. Check something. What conquers Badford? What about the problem with Conquers Bad Fur Day is that I've never played it. Personally, I've never played it. A lot of people love it, and I like watching people play it. Like I've watched a few streamers play it, and it's fun to watch them play it. But personally, I just never cared for it. Like it looks good, it looks fun and everything, but it's just like it's one of those things where obviously that game my parents never bought it for me, and I was not gonna be able to buy it anyways. I just didn't care much for it, really. It wasn't really like a thing that I cared much about. Like again, it looked fun, but I was just like, nah, I'm good. Like my brother and I weren't like, because we used to split our allowances to buy games, so we were just like, this doesn't seem like something that we want to buy anyways. I remember, I do remember that my grandfather bought us Quake, and I think my dad saw that I was like mature, and my brother and I were like, no, we want to play this, and my dad's like, no, you're not gonna open that shit. It's mature, you're gonna go return it, you're gonna try and sell it. We couldn't sell it because we opened it and we were gonna try and play it, but my dad prevented us. And so it's like, it's already sold. We don't know where my grandfather got it. So, cause he doesn't know, he just like, I went to a store and then he bought it. And my dad made us sell it, but we couldn't find a seller. So my dad took the game, he sold it. I don't remember if he gave us the money or not. I remember that game was just like taken away from us, and then that's it. So I never played Quake either. I think it was Quake 2 for the 64. And that's about it. Okay, now... That's something fucking crawling on my hand. I think it's... Or my arm, I guess, is a better term. Okay, now... let's see. Unlucky, though I've never played Quake either. That sunflower, though, from the Conker's Bad for Day. Yeah, I mean... That game, it definitely broke new ground in terms of what was okay for a game to have. Was it allowed? Were games allowed to be cartoony, but also be for children, like be for adults? You know, that sort of thing. It brought up like it definitely also like brought up like a deeper conversation, or like a bigger conversation to the table. So it wasn't just like a game. It was a game, I think, that was made to just push the button or push the envelope further and see what they could get away with, and what I think wasn't like the rating system invented for Conker's Bad Fur Day specifically. It was something like that. Because before it was like kids to adults and then adults only or something like that. And then they had to go ahead and actually have one. I thought it was Mortal Kombat. Might have been Mortal Kombat. I don't remember really. I'm not like a game historian. I just... It was Mortal Kombat. Okay. That caused the age rating for video games. Okay. Alright, then I stand corrected. Look at me spreading misinformation on video game history. I do remember like something about Conker, though. Damn it, I thought you were better. How the mighty have fallen. Let me check something. Okay. Now. Oops. Maybe not so huge. Maybe somewhere around here. No, this is Daiwa Scarlet from Uma Musume. Like that. This one makes a whole lot of sense. What anime do I like that I believe is underrated? Trying to think. What anime do I like that I believe is underrated? Think on that one. I think. I could say Nichijou because people don't talk about Nichijou very often, but I also think there's so many. Dansei no kokosei no nichijou is also really good. It's daily life of high school boys or something like that. Is really, really good, and not a lot of people talk about it either. God, okay, what's wrong with me today? What's wrong with you? So, okay, let's see. Yeah, because it was here. If people don't know what I'm talking about, let me see if I can look for it. Hold on. Hold on. Let me see if I can find a good clip. Oh, here. Okay, let me get this clip. Show you in a second. It's people don't talk about it, and it's really fun. It's short, and it's like one of my favorites because it's every time I watch it, it's really good. It's really fun. Let's see.
No と言える人間になろうぜ。もう人を助けないと誓え。わかった ？No。そうじゃなくて。
おい、犬拾っちゃったよ。どうしよう。どこ行ってたの、タクロ。
わかったよ、元春。こうしよう。
Wait,
$1500になります。それだ
it's just weird. It's not a lot of people get the weird comedy, but it's fun. I think it's really underrated. There's a few like that where it's just like the comedy is just like weird, but it's very fun. And that's just the way I like it. Just like off-kilter comedy, or just like just weird shit that is also grounded in reality somewhat. It's great situational comedy, lots of parodies too, yeah. The Ore no namae wa Jack. Ore no na wa Jack. It's fun. It's funny. Because my draw is the Gintama voice actor. I forgot his name. But he's like the main draw of this show. And every time he talks, it's Gin, but it's Gin Toki, but it's just a high school kid. And it's so funny. Not a moment in that show goes to waste. It's carefully crafted comedy. It's odd comedy, but it's so good. Like, if you haven't seen it, go watch it. I mean, if you can find it legally, please go watch it. But it's a good show, so I don't know if you're gonna find it on Crunchyroll. Unless they butchered it. Suita T something ga Tokumazui. Oh, hey Nadi. Thank you. I need the. There was also one Seitokai. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. Seitokai no Yakuin Domo. Yes, it's this one. Oh, it's got good shit. Like, okay, let me show you. This is funny. Hold on. The manga is even good for this one. Let me.
か。
先生は何してるんですか？
いや、無制するかなって。もうちょっとかな。
授業しろよ。
Yeah, it's just shit like that. It's fucking great. For me, it was an anime that I like, K Project. K Project. Sounds familiar. There's an anime that I like that's a guilty pleasure. That it wasn't really received. It was just more of like, oh, it's like one of those animes, and it was like Lady and Butler, I think it was called. It's fully fan service, but for some reason I really remember that show, and it was one of those shows that I just watched, and I was like, for some reason I remember it pretty well, and I kind of want to watch it again. Another good show, well, I don't want to call this good. Another show that was guilty pleasure of mine is Grenadier. It's a show that no one watched. It's almost impossible to find any clips of it, except with the exception of I owned the box set many years ago. I don't know where it is now, but it was an anime where like a lady bounced bullets off her boobs, and it was just like, it's one of those animes that the plot was interesting, like with huge quotation marks, where like it had an interesting element to it, and if a decent writer, and it wasn't full fan service, picked it up, it would have been like a good classic. Yeah, it was an early anime meme, yep, exactly. It was a good, I mean, I remember that, like, seeing that everywhere, and I was like, what the fuck? But yeah, the manga you can't find anywhere because it was with Tokyo Pop, and so anything that existed of that manga is dead, like, never to see again. Murciélago. No, I don't think I've heard of it. Keep in mind, my knowledge of manga and stuff is very limited because I don't read or watch a whole lot. I'm mostly like, I play video games more than not. Like, I play RPGs, and that's where I get like the anime, quote unquote. So it's not like I have this huge knowledge of shows and stuff. It's just like, it's rather limited. There was a good show called Vandred too, that I think it also had interesting concepts, but it was also super fan servicey. I'm trying to think of like what other things over time I've seen. Yeah, Vandred is definitely underrated. It's a good show. It's not like the greatest show, but I like the concepts that it introduced and some of the like plot lines and stuff. But it got really bogged down in the fan service stuff, which I'm okay with fan service, but it definitely got ruined by that. I think in this case, fan service was a detriment to it because it could have been a really amazing show if they weren't so focused on the fan service aspect of it. If they would have just like tightened up a few things and kept the energy going, it would have been like an easy like classic. Another show that I'm thinking about, you know what? I don't think a lot of people talk about Wolf's Rain too much either. And Wolf's Rain is like a very, very, very good show. It's an original animation, but it got bogged down. I think Get Backers as well is very good. But it wasn't over the top fan service like Iki Tolson. Yeah, it wasn't like that. But it was still like, I don't know how to explain it. It wasn't as I don't know. The thing is, like, a lot of people wrote it off because it was just like, oh, it's fan service, and it was a lot of the times, but it had really, really interesting moments. And again, if it had a good editor and someone that was interested in, I think maybe it doesn't need to be this huge, because I want to actually be able to Have you seen MM? MM? What is that? It's so hot in here. 1 second. Have I been really drawing for an hour? Wow. Sorry, I had to go turn the AC on. Also, I picked up Skyrim again. Unrelated, but I started playing Skyrim again on my own time. Figured I just couldn't find something to play. Even though I have like a ton of games I could, I just didn't. For some reason, I was just like, yeah, I don't know. MM is an anime about this group of high school kids. The main cast has sort of disorder. MC is a masochist, love interest. Never looked into Wolf's Rain. It was around the same time a lot of good but dark and sad anime came out. Yeah, I recommend. Listen, if you don't have anything to watch at the moment, Wolf's Rain is definitely like one of the. It's short. It's not a lot of episodes. It's short, very good, and honestly, to the point. It's not like dark. It's just like, it is the story that it is. And I highly recommend it. It's really fun. I like it a lot. And it has like a fucking killer... Hold on. Just listen to the... Let me make sure this doesn't get... Let me make sure this doesn't get claimed. Oh, alright, if it gets claimed, I'll just mute this part, but just listen to the, like, the 5 seconds of this. Just listen. Just listen. Hold on. Okay, that's enough. That's as much as I can play. But listen, just, oh god, it's so good. It's so good. Let me go ahead and where is the Nintendo? Oh, there we go. Stray. It's so good. Get Backers is another one that I love a lot. It's another one that's super fun. And it's one of those animes that came and went, even the manga, and I don't hear a lot of people talking about it either. I think it was more of a hit in Latin America than it was in the States or anywhere else. Because seriously, like, I don't know how people aren't... Like, Get Backers is a lot of fun. It's one of those shows that felt really original. And the openings were also really great. Full Metal Panic Fumofu as well. Not the Full Metal Panic show, the Fumofu, the spin-off funny show. It's also something that I think is underrated. But again, a lot of these shows are like from the 2000s, so I'm not surprised that a lot of people aren't talking about it. Because early 2000s, 2010s was when I watched anime frequently, and now I don't, so... Zero no Tsukaima. One of my favorite movies that also doesn't get talked about is Sword of the Stranger. I feel like a lot of people ignore that movie or they just don't talk about it. And it's such a like simple but fun movie. Yeah. Kateu Hitman Reborn is good, but it appears... D. Grayman also was one of those shows where it got picked up and nobody fucking cared about it. And it was interesting, but then it just... The anime, nobody cared, and it petered off, and that's it. Here, I'm gonna look up like the scene for Sword of the Stranger. This stream is gonna get all sorts acclaimed, but here, I'll look it up. Sword of the Stranger fight. I'm just gonna show. Here, I'm gonna just grab the screen. I think it's just easier. Here, let me just show you really quick. Here, just like, look at this. Fucking. So good. Alright, I don't want to spoil, so. It's really good. It's really good. It's, I think I'm gonna go watch it. We should probably watch it on the server. I'll see if I can get a legitimate copy and just watch it on the server. Or you could sail the sea, my guy. Speaking of well-animated actions, the first Uwatare Mono is an underrated gem. I've never seen anything like. I know there was like the collab with Azure Lane, and I've seen the type of game that it is. And I've been always tempted to just buy it and try it, but I don't know why I just don't go through with it. But I don't know if there was. I didn't even know there was an anime. I think it was just one of those games where I just didn't know anything about it until recently. Let's zoom out a little. Hey Moonkin! Hey Lazuli, welcome to the stream. Okay. We've sort of defined, now we just gotta clean up a few areas. I think I like Lazuli better. It's got like that, it's like silk on the mouth. Lazuli. Oh, you know what? You know what I could show you guys? I could give you like a preview. One second. Obviously I gotta make sure I'm careful with what I'm showing you. No, not that one. Oh, okay, this one. So I revamped, or like not remade, but fixed an old asset from my game, which is a character, and I think I can show you guys really quick. Here, let me show you. Just so we're not like, you know, this is not gonna get finished in this stream, so I finished my character Kashima. Yep. It's such a huge difference from before. Let me see if I can find an example of the older version. 1 second. Bam. Da 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 da. Ba 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 ba. Da 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 da. Okay, I can show you now. This was before. So in order to do a better comparison, let me turn off everything else. So this is the original, and this is now. Do not save. Do not save. Alright, back to the drawing. Ba-ba-da, ba-ba-da, ba-ba-ba-dum, ba-ba-dum. I think this one can go, and I can do this now. Because I need to be watching what I'm doing now. She was intended to just be fit. She had abs before, but I made her more ripped now. Because I was like, you know what? She's a health nut. I might as well. And I went full on the details and stuff. Because the other characters got a lot of details and a lot of improvements. So I was just like, yeah, she's been neglected for a while, so I might as well. Oh, welcome, Lion. Do you want to show what the emote was? Send it to me, and I can show it. And I can show it in the stream, so we can show. You can show it off, if you want, of course. Okay. Alright, let me go check. Ah! Okay, I see what this is. Alright, let's save it. I got you. Is this media source? Let me look up that. Image. Browse. Oh. Nice. Very nice. Alright, let's get back to work. Oh, why do I have this table still? Let's get rid of the table. In this house, we give a scream. Talking about your game, I started making a drawing. Oh, yeah, Talia. Yep. Hold on. Yeah. Talia, I need to work on her stories, by the way. There's a lot of like side content that I'm doing at the moment for my game. I need to start writing. It's just that I've been giving priority to art for a little bit because I need to get back on those, like, your character here stuff, because I know some people are waiting on those, and I have like a commissioner also for like a big commission that's waiting on a sketch, so I need to get that done tomorrow. I have a lot of work, and I just want to do some writing. It's hard. Being an artist is fun, but it's also taxing. You have to be on your A game. I am getting a publisher. in terms of like getting help for my game, but it's also they got so much more like they got like other games that they had before mine, so it's like I'm not like really high on their priority at the moment, and I have to do a lot of preliminary work and stuff. So and I want to migrate my game from RPG Maker. I don't want it in RPG Maker anymore, even though like it makes sense to keep it there. I just want to continue development in a different platform that allows me to be more open with it and do more fun stuff. And eventually, I want to be able to port my game, you know, do a safer work version and port it to the Switch. So, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that I want to do, and I don't know. I have help. I have friends that are helping me with the script, with other stuff in relation to the game. But in terms of getting art and stuff like that, I don't count with a lot of disposable income to actually pay someone to help me. And I don't know, like, if I should be doing like a Kickstarter for that. I don't really want to, because it's like I don't have like proof of, like, I have a proof of concept, but I don't have like a track record, so I can't ask if people just give me, like, throw me money. And it's also like a kick in the face for people that are on my fan box and stuff. So in terms of like seeking help, I'm talking with a publisher, and we like my game's been already like greenlit to be in their publication, but things have been moving slowly with it. So at the moment, like, I'm just getting other stuff done that is higher on my own priority list, and they have a bunch of projects that they need to get underway, and I think her head is a little too big, so I need to reduce the size. So yeah, I mean, believe me, I would like help, but I want to pay people for, I don't know. Like, even the friends that are helping me with the script and stuff, like, I feel super bad every time I ask something out of them. So, I don't know, it's hard. So I can't, I'm between a rock and a hard place sometimes with development on that. The Fanbox has a tier for the game, and it's the $5 one, which I'm considering. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do really, because I need to take a look at my Fanbox, or just a subscription method in general, and because I have a $5 tier, a $1 tier, and that one. I have a lot of supporters on it, and what, I don't know, it's hard. It's not easy, because I've been pretty adamant on keeping everything open and stuff. Only people that support me on like the $5 tier get access to like releases and stuff. And I've been debating on doing a new tier, or like adding more onto like the higher tier that I have. It's a lot that I need to consider. It's a lot more that I need to consider. So it's not an easy thing that I can do. Like, I'm even learning coding mostly as an extra career option, and also for myself, for my project. I think I mentioned that earlier in the stream, but yeah, so it's like, it's a lot. Because I want to be, I don't want my game to just be like, oh, it's like, I want it to be a genuine game that people will go out of their way, not just for like the type of game that, like the type of content that it's in there, but also I wanted to make the game fun, that people pick it up, and if there's like if there's like a option that's not the adult version, people can play it and still enjoy the story. So that's what I'm trying to work for, but it's not as easy as that. So, yeah. But again, I don't know. And I don't want to turn this into like a programming mini games would be. But what do you people should look into if they want to make a game? C++, JavaScript. C#. I mean, there's a whole Veritas. Like I'm learning, so there's like so many options right now. And a lot of like what you learn in coding is dependent on what you're going to do and what engine you're going to do it on. So it's a whole can of worms. Nope. The hand's fucked up. Actually, I need to help myself a little bit. There we go. That makes more sense. So what I need to be doing is keep this like that. It's kind of weird, so let's fix it. Okay. Now, let's see. Let's keep fixing these parts here. I mean, not that you'll be able to see any of this, but for me it's important to at least, like, have this figured out. Because not having it figured out could affect other parts of the drawing. Okay, there we go. Honestly, because she's a horse, I could give her like really strong legs. Just do like the old... Not defined too crazy. but enough so it's like you can tell. Something like that. We'll see when I get there. Yeah, it might be a little bit too much. The knee is a little too huge, so let's... Dun, dun, dun. Use the brush size. Let's go here. Man, I have my bouts where I'm like ultra addicted to Uma Musume, but then moments where I just stop, and I'm in like, it's been like this for like months, because it's a game that I don't know, like it's not an easy like pick up and play game in terms of like you can play for 20 minutes. You like each run, because it's like a roguelite, each run is like 30 minutes. And even then, like, you might not get the desired results. And so you either have to drop out early from your run, or you have to, like, you do the entire thing and you're like, oh, fuck. So, and you rarely, like, you keep the end horses, but there's so many layers to it that it's not an easy game to just grind for. And it's not a game that you really grind anyways, but you do a lot of that anyway. I mean, I don't know how to vocalize it. It's just weird. Again, I think I still, even then I've been slacking a little bit on it, but my my game of choice is still Azure Lane. But I've been slacking a little bit on it, to be quite honest. And I think I've just been really busy. And like, these gacha games, they don't give you like a moment of levity. Gotta log in every day, and like sometimes I just forget. I'm just like, I got so much to do. Even though I love this game, it's like I need like I don't want the FOMO. I always participate in every event, and I get all the girls usually, but or all the ships, I guess. But it's like I wish like gachas would just stop, and we got more full games that just give you the characters for free. And it's not a free to play. I want to pay for those games. I don't want to keep having to pile things on. Pay for stamina, pay for whatever. Like, I just want that to stop. Let's see. Yeah, I think I need to... The legs... Yeah, they need the, I don't know, the model's not sustainable anymore. There's so many coming out every time, and each one of them is trying to top the other one, and you're trying to like, I just want to play fucking Elden Ring and like, or like, you know, full games, and it's just like, you see the game, it looks fucking cool as hell, and you're like, oh shit, this is like something fun to have on the phone, and then when you realize, oh, it's a gacha. It's like the Genshin syndrome, Genshin Impact. Oh, it looks like a full fun game. Oh, it's gacha, and it's like time gated with everything. It's like, why do people love this game? It's like you can only play it for 20 minutes a day. And when I say 20 minutes, it's like you run out of things to do in the game right away. I think my problem is that if like the gacha model, it seems sustainable now, but I don't think in the long run it'll be that sustainable. I think people are just gonna get tired, and it's insulting how like some of the best, some of the most fun games that have been coming out for gacha games are like riddled with these like shitty mechanics to get you to roll more or whatever. Like, for example, if Genshin was like a full game, you paid $60, or fuck it, say 70, right? You pay 70, and plus the season pass, let's say, or like you pay for the DLC. You're getting like a massive game that gets updated, and you don't have to roll for any of the characters to worry about the weapons or whatever. But you're getting a pretty fucking big game with a lot of story, a lot of things to do, so many side quests. And it would easily be like one of the best games out in the market. But no, it's like, it's hindered by all these mechanics that force you to rely, like the time gate, running out of things to do because you've exhausted every available option at the moment, and you gotta wait until the next day. New character drops and it's like $700 to try to get it. Like, I don't know, like maybe we could just start doing full games again. I know that I know Asia's kind of like the biggest like offender in this aspect. But, you know, as gamers, we can demand more of the companies that are supplying these games. You know, we can stop playing them. We can go a different route and just be like, okay, I don't want to play your game anymore. There's a lot that are really good, but again, they feel less earnest. Like, a game comes in with like all these amazing characters, but it feels less earnest than, you know, than a Call of Duty game with loot boxes, because it was clearly made in like a specific way to get you to like spend money. Like, a lot of these are like, yeah, we advertise that it's like F2P, but we don't need, like, the moment I hear something F2P, I'm like, yeah, F2P doesn't exactly mean free to play. I think again, like maybe I'll chill for I'll chill out for Azure Lane. They're not exactly like they're more free to play than most gacha games. For sure, they make their bank on skins, and I'm okay with like that model where it's like most of your money is being made through skins. But for Pete's sake, like. And a lot of these gacha games that are becoming super popular are specifically from China or like sponsored by Tencent, and it's just like, you know, there's like an executive up there that's like, yeah, we need more gachas. Make the coolest fucking game. Riddle it with shitty mechanics to force you to buy whatever it is that we're asking you to buy. Oh, character that breaks the game or makes you easy? Or that makes the game actually playable now? Yeah, you gotta roll for it. And then in a few months the character won't be relevant anymore because we're gonna update the mechanics, so he's shit tier now. And you gotta keep pulling. Yeah, I wish that were true. I don't know. Okay. Akuma is unkillable. In order to like actually nerf that character, you have to change his whole dynamic and the way the other characters interact with him. Also, Capcom doesn't really know how to patch their games, at least in regards to Street Fighter. Every time like there's a patch, everyone's just like, oh fuck this, I'm leaving Street Fighter community, but they just keep playing. Alright, I think... we can start... we can actually start refining more... I just think that we need to, again, I think our job as people who consume the video game medium, as we are colloquially known as gamers, we need to demand more, or we need to make sure that like, if we see something that's like, oh, it's a gacha, or like, we see something nefarious, we need to start either, you know, just, it's not about giving these games attention and being like, oh, this is like a cash. Just ignore it, stop playing it, call it out for what it is, and just let it remain to dust. And the worst thing you can do for a game is not talk about it. Yeah, it's ruined the. Yeah, it's ruined the market. There has to be like a big developer or like a game so good that it like tips over the scales of the market to where everyone's just like, oh, so this is what people actually want. Like, it needs to sell millions to the point where companies are like, oh, maybe people don't want to spend money, but they want full games on their phones. But again, the hook on mobile games is that it's been free to play, and so everyone's just like, oh, it's free to play. And because they kind of like quote unquote like the game, they'll end up being like, oh, well, I don't mind spending, you know, $5 here and there, and, you know, giving the developers some money, you know, so that they can get coffee or whatever. So that's the model it's built on. And then when you sell games, people are like, I don't want to buy it because, like, you know, this other game is free to play and I only play 20 minutes, so I don't really want to pay $5 for your game. And charging like a full $50-$40 on a mobile game, impossible. It's also another unsustainable model. So the only way you can actually that these games would ever actually, the market would change, is if the laws change to where gacha games are included in like like loot box laws and stuff like that. That's the only way that that would change. In Japan, I would never see that happening because Yakuza in China have like a deep their pockets are lined up with that. Like Konami, exactly. Allegedly. Allegedly. Just throwing that magical A word. You don't need no lawyers coming to my door. Okay, I think this... I can keep working on the face. Let's go. Many have been caught allegedly simping. People simping me? I can love this Pokemon Stadium jazz thing. What do you think on treat the gacha game on? I don't play Apex, and I've never seen I've never seen anything. I know Apex is a game, but I've never seen gameplay. I don't even know what their loot box system looks like. Like, I have friends that play it and stream it, and I've just never. I've never cared for it. Isn't just battle stuff like CSGO had for ages? I don't know, really. I'm okay if stuff is cosmetic, but it doesn't change the gameplay whatsoever. So like, gacha games had it where you got all the characters, but mostly what you're gambling for is cosmetics, and not actually like things that make the game easier or actually even playable. Because there's some gachas where it's impossible to play them because you don't have the right character or the right weapon, like Genshin Impact, where like it would take you 70 years with a level 3 weapon to actually get it to like a playable state, and even then that's not even guaranteed. Whereas if you roll and you get like the weapon that you need, then the game is playable. Yeah, I'm okay with cosmetics, but I'm not okay with things that make it easier or make you better. Like, they give you an edge over other players. Because then it's no longer about skill, it's about who has the most money. Epic doesn't give you all the characters, but you can unlock them by grinding levels so you can pay for them. Okay. Why not just give you the, like, why not just, I don't know. I don't care for these, like, hero shooters. Look at TF2. I think TF2 is a game that people still love. Like, so many, like, choose your hero shooters or, like, those types of games have come and gone, but TF2 still lives, and they do, like, and it's just cosmetics, and people, like, will play a fuck ton of hours or just to get the perfect hat. Well, that's another problem with cosmetic loot boxing games. Like, they literally make the game so ridiculously profitable that lazy devs don't want to move on until they're milked. Well, TF2, it's never getting the heavy update. But it's also, well, now maybe not TF2, but all those games, like, it's just, their sources are kind of open, so people have just been doing whatever they want with it. And I think that's more of a case of that. Aside from skins, I'm still amazed people keep playing different varieties of CS:GO through what's it called? Through Gary's mod. Like the other day, I played Trouble in Terrorist Town. Why? How did I murder everyone? Okay, in CS:GO, yeah, I did, but it was my effective method of deduction. We could figure out who the traitor was. Are card games gacha? In a sense, yes. They're the original gachas, I think. Let's see. Take the Yoshi and put it out. Honestly, I like a little bit of like, I want to say not necessarily gambling, but I do like the randomness of, you know, trying to pull and then getting the character, because there's like a bit of a dopamine hit. But if like stuff wasn't so expensive to the, or like to the nth degree that they're taking it, then sure. But no, they take it really far. And it's just like, it makes games like impossible to play if you don't have a certain level of income. To the point where it's like, why not just sell the game entirely and that's it? True, Xenoblade is a gacha game. But at least, you know, You can grind for it. You can grind materials, and you know, doing that system is not necessary to like progress the story. Speaking of Xenoblade, literally speaking of Xenoblade, only Pyro run. I don't know. As soon as I could use Mithra, I'd stop using Pyra as much. With all due respect, I hate Mithra. I don't like Pyra. So I guess... I think Mithra has more character than Pyra does. There's a bit of more... There's more depth to her than with Pyra. Pyra is just like, oh, I'm nice, and that's it. But again, like she's not the worst. It's just I just didn't like her, really. Like she's nice and that's it. And I was just like, no, I'm looking for a little bit more. Poppy is best character. And so is Nia. Poppy's the best blade in the entire game. Her final transformation is, yeah, technically. Technically, yeah. Okay, I think we need to start adding the hair and stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Pandoria. I didn't get Pandoria. My favorite one is Cosmos. But that's because I'm a huge Xenosaga fan. I love Xenosaga. That game is underrated. And I think it's got so many good things that it could have been. Xenosaga walked so Xenoblade could run. Pretty much. It's one of those games where when it first released, the first game, it was like people were like, "Oh, I see what they're doing. I hope they improve." And they didn't, because the second one was horrible dumpster fire. And then they're like, "Oh fuck, what do we do?" And they only had money for one more game. And then they did, and then the third game was like, "Holy shit, this is so good," and it gave us the best iteration of Cosmos to ever have existed. And it ended up being that people were just like, I don't care at this point. Like, the past two games have been shit, so I don't care anymore. And it's getting a copy now of that game is crazy expensive. I don't know where mine is. I know that I have it somewhere, and I've played it several times, but I'm a little upset that I can't find my copy anymore. It's crazy how Nier could have turned out similar to Xenosaga. The first game was really clunky, but I think what saved Nier is that the storytelling was tighter and better. Like, way, way better. Because Xenosaga had really, really good ideas, but it just didn't know how to execute them properly. That was the problem with Xenosaga. It's just their story was like all over the place, but it had really, really, really awesome concepts, and it had mecha battles and stuff like that. So it had a lot to work on, but it just didn't take any of the opportunities it was given, and the development was riddled with problems. It's a whole can of worms. I would be okay with streaming the third game. But yeah, it's the only, like, out of the three, it's the only game that's mildly aged appropriately. Because the rest of it is just like... But... This was... Gar Plains, yeah. I think another problem is that the main character of Senno Saga was also pretty bad. Xian was like just one of the worst main characters ever. Just no one can stand her. She was whiny and then a bitch for no reason. It just had a lot of problems. But a lot of the ideas introduced to it were really, really fun. And they carried on with Senno Saga 2 specifically. It's just poor Cosmos, still floating in space. And they've, like, those games could use a remaster. Like, if I was a millionaire, I would just go to Monolith and I'm like, tell Nintendo to go fuck itself. Here, I'm giving you money to, like, fix these old games. But I'm not, so. Oh man. Alright, I'm gonna clean this up a little bit more and then just maybe call it a night. Dun, 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 dun. If I was a billionaire, I would tell Capcom to make a proper remaster of DMC3 and Darkstalker. DMC3! DMC2. You could also just make your own game. Na 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 na. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do, do. Da, 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 ba, da, 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 da. Oh, da, 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 oh, da. Dun, 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 dun. Doo-doo-doo. Are you planning on drawing extra Horsin? I was, yeah. I don't know if I can post it though. I'll add it after the stream. So I keep it in mind when I like. Second. It's not okay. I need to see something. Yeah, it's stretching like goose. Yeah, I think we're fine. I just gotta erase this a little bit. Okay. Let's put these in a folder, copy them, move them here. Okay, let's make them same color. Also, another thing that saved Nier, now that I think about it, is the music as well. Nier had a lot going for it. I think it was published by Square, so Square can bleed money if they want to. They do it every year anyway, so if... Also, it was directed by Yoko Taro, which... He had the track record with Drakengard 1, 2, and 3. Like, he has his track record, and so people were more interested in his storytelling. If the game was clunky, they're like, I mean, it's okay. But yeah. There was a lot of stuff that was more forgiving for that game, specifically. Sinnoh Saga... it was one, like, the first game was like, oh, there's something interesting. But people were so disappointed that it wasn't a sequel to Xenogears, specifically. So, which was a more acclaimed game, and it put Monolith on the map. So there's a lot to consider here when talking about the demise and success of either franchise. Wasn't Drinking Grounds earning money because the game, they weren't selling well outside of Japan. It's also like a very niche game too, which is something that a lot of people don't consider because the gameplay is very niche. Because it's not... Drakengard 1 was straightforward, like, action with some, you know, with the combat and then the flying segments. But then the subsequent games were more focused on the dragon stuff. So, because 1 did well, I think. But people weren't too receptive about the other one, so... It ended up being just, like... Really, really loved games by the people that played it. But anyone else that didn't, you know, that wasn't used to those games just didn't care for it, and, you know, people just didn't buy it. They were also... The storytelling was, like, different. It was like an era where like people didn't know Yoko Taro well outside of Japan, and people weren't like into the method of storytelling, and people were still accepting video games as like good pieces of work to tell stories. Now it's like, oh, of course, you know, but we're talking like PS3, PS2 era, and people are still like, you know, it's the early days, so it's like. Nier came for the PS3, and like I don't know, there's just like a lot of stuff with Drakengard and, you know, Yoko's games that are now people are like retroactively being like, oh no, these are like masterpieces of storytelling. It's like, no, at the moment they came out, you just wouldn't even acknowledge it. So mean, I don't know. When those games came out, I was tempted, but I didn't know much about them because I don't know. I was just like, well, I don't know. I also like when those games came out, I wasn't really into video games anymore, or like I wasn't as much into playing video games like I used to because I was in college and I had more things going on in my life. So that was for me personally. Like I was more focused on my social life. So I wasn't playing as many video games. And plus, like, for me, those were kind of like dark ages for games. Because I didn't see many things that caught my interest, and it was like an awkward period because it was a PS3 era. And I had a PS3, and so my selection of games was really limited because there weren't that many good games early on for the PS3, so it was just like, yeah. All right, Tony, thanks for stopping by. I'm close to stopping the stream as well. I think her arm's a little too thick compared to the other. Maybe. Yeah, there we go. And I think another problem here that I'm seeing is that her hand, or at least like her arm, is a little too outside. It should be... what's that? It should be more like here. Yeah, that looks... oh yeah, that looks much better, yeah. But I didn't for anything, right? By the way, I didn't ask for anything. Like, about inhaling? Inhaling? What are you talking about? Okay, I'm clear. It was about the JoJo fan art that I just like fan art. I talked about her. Ah, okay. Let's see. Few minor corrections that I gotta add here. Got her tail, so I'm gonna add it a little bit back here. Okay, let's erase here. Fix well, actually, let's worry about that now. Because I kind of want to leave it in a way that okay. There we go. So I'm gonna add a layer here. Oh, I can actually just move this over there. Add a simple color. So maybe maybe this is like a gem. So this is like the thingies that are usually, you know, for people to jump over. I don't know. It's like a door back here. Good. Anyways, this grass detail, I think. Alright, this is kind of what this looks like for now. I should finish this like tomorrow or something like that. Yeah, sorry I, didn't go all the way, or like today felt slower than usual. But yeah, I'm a little exhausted today because I had my second lesson in coding, and I had a fucking 3-4 hour session today, so I'm exhausted a little bit mentally, and then I just want to go forward and do something else before I go to sleep. Because tomorrow I have another long day. So let's go to the living room for a quick second before I close the stream. So I have a couple of things that I want to announce. 1 second. Tomorrow there's no stream. I said I was gonna do, but I'm not gonna do it. On Wednesday, I'm doing an art feedback stream just to try it out. I'm gonna put I'm gonna announce it tomorrow, just so people keep an idea, and like you guys can drop like art that you want me to look at and provide some feedback for, or stuff that we can learn together, and that kind of stuff. Thursday, if I want to do a stream on Thursday, it might be Teardown. If not, that's going to be on Friday. And then I might stream on Saturday, but I don't know. But I want to stream at minimum Wednesday and Friday as well. So Wednesday is going to be the art feedback stream. And then on Friday, if I don't do it on Thursday, is Teardown. So I'll keep you guys posted. You can check on the server. But yeah, let me walk you guys outside. All right, y'all. Thanks for coming to the stream. I hope you guys have a pleasant evening or rest of your night. And if you're starting your day, I hope you have a good day. So I'll see you guys next time.